This is your daily market recap for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Let's go. Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at EXPI Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Thursday, June 23rd, 2022. Hope you're having a great day. Just wanted to reiterate, if you are newer to the channel, you're following the videos and you're trying to ask me questions on different platforms, please stop by the Discord room or DM me. It's just easier that way. I appreciate everybody and I'd love to help people as much as I can. But ultimately, a lot of the questions that I get from people are usually when they're in a hole, and I get it. It's not easy. So if you really want my help, asking me out of the blue in a really quick question, it's a hard ask, because again, there's more to just a quick question about a trade or a setup, which I get. Again, that's why we had chat in the Discord room all day, helping people as we can and trying to really understand the markets as they are versus what we want to see them as. Now again, if you're newer to the channel, check out the Discord room. Again, it's such a big feature that I think people should use, and even if you're not saying a ton, just listening. There's a lot of stuff going on. And check the side rooms. I mean, again, people ask me about questions. They're like, hey, what do you do during the end of the, what are the trades are you currently in? Okay, here we go. I'm posting exactly what I'm looking at. Hey, what do you think about, how do you trade the end of the month? Like, what does that mean to you? Well, okay, at the end of the month, there's window dressing. Let me see if I can find that specific video. It's all in the channel. Not optics, pin action. Anyway, there's a ton of this kind of stuff. Anyway, if you have questions, please don't be shy, but also be smart. I'm not a one-on-one coach, as I tell people. I'm more of a helper of those who want to help themselves. Apologize if I'm a little tired. Been a long night, and let's get into it. If you have thought about Bitcoin, as many people have, I get a lot of this question all the time. You got to hold these levels. It's support from 2020. It seems at the moment to be holding. Remember, the levels matter. Now, again, if someone asks me a specific price level, I always tell them that that's really hard to pick the exact bottom. We never know who the last puker is. We don't know the exact position of the market maker has someone squared up and teed into, meaning that if there is a big stop loss sell below at certain prices that now is on the radar of the market makers that have been taken off, sometimes they will press the market further down to squeeze them out. What does that mean? Think about it. Whales hunt sharks. And sharks being, say it's 1 million shares or 1,000 Bitcoin, and someone puts a stop in at 19,000. And the market makers know that. And what they'll try to do is they'll try to press them to squeeze it out at the lows. Because again, think about it. The market makers are a liquidity seeking device and game. Tell that all the time. If you don't understand volume price analysis, and you don't understand how volume is by far the biggest, most important factor in the market, because the irony is that most people don't understand it at all, but that's not surprising. People go to casinos all the time and expect to win, and they don't understand the game. Very similar, 99% of people trading don't really understand the game. So back how it relates to Bitcoin, you now have liquidity. Market makers will probably try to pop this higher. The biggest concern I have is that longer term big head and shoulders top. I don't know. Again, I like gold. I like this stuff. I just don't know if it has a lot of upside in this kind of market. Now, again, am I saying that it's going to get smashed? No, not necessarily. I like certain longer term things, but I don't think they're going to go higher in the near term, meaning that they're probably stuck. If Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000, it could probably consolidate in the 20 to 30,000 range, just like gold is consolidating in the 1,800, 1,700 range for as long as needed. Keep that in mind. Well, said this in yesterday's chats, said this, I don't know how many freaking times, but we talked about it. This was a blowout of the upside, retesting old highs. Not surprised. Now, again, we can get into more of the oil stuff later in the video, which I always do. I just want to show people that if you remember, because a lot of people are like, why would you short oil? And it's like, do you not remember? Why is it not showing monthly candles? Oh, maybe it is. 2008. Again, the summer of 2008, oil started the smush, and it was going into a recession. Now oil starts the recession. I don't think people even understand that. Inflation causes the Feds to do stupid things. Stupid things meaning they have to raise rates quickly because they wait too late to raise them. They don't ever do them softly and quietly when no one really wants it to. They just do it only at the end when it's so obvious they have to and the market is all in. Long story short, I'm still short oil. I've taken some positions off of shorting oil near term. Doesn't mean I'm giving up on them. It's just, again, I have to trade stuff. I've seen markets give and take, and if you only try to stick around for when they're given, you will find the market takes stuff back. TLT. Congratulations to friends, family, and everybody in the Discord room who bought in the 108 to 109. We bought a little on this backup on, what was it, Tuesday? I feel like Tuesday, Monday, whatever, the start of the week, because Monday we had off. Boom. It hit the 20-day. Now what? Everyone's probably like, oh, long bonds, yields are going lower. Probably. But doesn't mean it happens tomorrow. Maybe it starts next month. Again, the hardest part is the entry. Now what? I'm going to let it ride. Now we hit the 20-day. The first time we hit the 20-day, we backed off. Last time, it went like that. Now, could we pull back 3 or 4 points? Maybe. And if it does, I hope you know what you need to do. The dollar. I say this all the time. Monthly, big channel. Going higher. Just like it spiked in 2008. Here we go. Probably spiking in 2022. How high? Channel high, 29s. Keep it simple. The VIX, we've said this about a dozen times. If you couldn't break the top and you compress going into the seasonal bull times, not bull, I mean, technically bullish, yes. Seasonal earnings seasons, which is typically bullish, then yeah, I mean, look like April was last earnings. You had a compression of the VIX before it went higher. Just keep that in mind. Here you go again. Earnings in June or January. We had a compression of the VIX. I'm not calling the market bottom, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that there's time for which the market can rally counterintuitively to a bear market. And here we go. Why would Dan start saying he might go long? Well, what do we do? What do I say about breaking channels? Sometimes it's the end of the move. What do I say about straight line moves? Is this not a straight line move? Because again, it's not even like days where you had like action between. You had monster gaps. Look at these gaps. I mean, they're 4-1. I mean, you got a 5-point gap. You got a 9-point gap. You got a 8-point gap, 6-point, 7-point. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the straight line move. Now, I'm not saying we're going back to new highs. What I'm trying to anticipate is, look what's already happened. We've come off the highs. That's crazy. We hit my little circle like perfectly. We probably bounce back to 400. Could we bounce back to 420? I don't know. But I do think that there's 20 or 30 handles on up, you know, meaning you could get up to 400. I mean, maybe we fill this gap here at 401. Doesn't mean you have to stay bearish all the time. I keep telling people, like, you have to trade the market. Bear markets are trading markets. They're not buy and hold markets. QQQ, what do we say? Channel lows? I said I thought this one probably has the bigger bounce. Let's let me do some drawing here because maybe you can kind of see where I think you can get the bounce to. Let's clean it up. Clean it up. Let's take it from the actual high. Bazooka. You're going to be laugh when the fibs line up. Fib points. Channel high, 335. Maybe. I would probably argue that somewhere between the 0.38 and the channel high. That would be my guess. So again, 323, it's not a bad risk reward. If bond yields are going lower, people are going to jump into tech. Just warning you. Again, if you were a bear, we called this. We said this is bearish. But you can't, there are green months snuck in between there. I hope you see that. There are counter rallies, okay? Just be aware. End of the quarter. I mean, how many people are bearish now? Like, everybody's talking about a recession. And again, no one talked about it earlier when we were talking about it, and then the market dropped, and boom. Remember, we're trying to anticipate. That's what we try to do. At this point, anticipating, channel low gets a bounce. That's a big freaking move. This is a big move gap-wise. It's probably going to backfill. And it's going to frustrate the people who only expect straight line moves. We are not those folks. We trade a market because it's a trade and mechanism. All right, again, channel lows on the IWM. Keep in mind, as we said, this 220 and 2018 highs came right down to the 0.382. Oh my God, it's going to bounce. Yeah, that's all right. Remember, again, there's some sneaky little green candles in this down action, folks. It's not always down. Oh God, what am I doing? Bam! And it's back. So let's just keep that in mind. Gold, silver, miners. I just don't like to be a broken record, but I feel like it's amazing to me how many people every day tell me, you're crazy. You got to buy metals here. You got to hold it. You have to buy and hold, Dan. If you don't buy and hold, you're going to miss out on this big move. And you're going to I'm not missing out on anything because, again, I know how to pick bottoms and tops. There's a blow off. There's the lower high. Again, I've said this a bazillion times, and people who watch the videos constantly know the best time to buy gold is in the panic. I mean, here was the 20, what was it? Here you go. I guess that's not even it. It was right here. This was March of 2020. That doesn't even count. It's more of the miners. Let's pretend like, again, my brain is working functionally. It's not today. But what do we talk about? The handle could take a long time. It's months. I mean, how long did this left part of the handle? It took months. It's taking months. It's going to take as long as it's going to take. Keep in mind, the best time to buy gold is always in the fourth quarter. Always in the fourth quarter. You get some bounces. I mean, even that bounce was pretty strong, but it was not. That was a bad year for gold. Anyway, could it be a run up like 2020? 2020 and 2021 were a little fickle with gold. Typical seasonality, because you do get June bounces and up into the summer. I just don't trust it because, again, if you look back at previous history, hey cat, the wipeouts in the summer chop, I mean, it's not ideal because, again, like you said, wait till the fourth quarter, even if it does bounce. I mean, I'm not saying gold's going to zero, but I just buy it in the fourth quarter, run up. Buy it in the fourth quarter, run up. Anyway, this is the problem with gold, is that the whole premium of why it was up was based on Russia premium. Like, you know, people are scared of war. That premium, just like oil, is getting unwound. And nothing is safe in a bear market. Now, you're saying, Dan, hey, the counter rally's coming. This could go up. I think it could go up, but do I want to own it? That's the question. Just like silver. Again, the best time, here's a better example of capitulation. The best times to buy silver when everyone pukes. Remember here? Here we go. COVID. Whee! We're not at that point yet. Look at this action. Like, I want to see this leg again duplicated. I hate to see bouncy bottoms for silver because I know what happens is that it plays these games where it takes as long as it's going to take. And I'm not saying silver's going lower. If anything, if you're watching this video and you have not bought physical silver and gold yet, hit pause, get to APMEX, start buying some. Because these are the times to buy the physical. The premiums are only going to stay high. But what I'm saying with silver as the paper game, just let it be. Again, look at what happened in 2008. Like, you had a bear market and it didn't bottom until October, November, fourth quarter. You see the recurring pattern here. I'm not saying gold can't go higher or chop between now and the fourth quarter, but what I'm trying to explain to you, if you're listening, if we're in a bear market and the bear market rally is coming and markets rally and then we'd make another leg lower in the fall, it seems very obvious. You just got to wait to buy gold and silver. You can't wait in trading and you can't be patient. You are going to be a statistic, and a statistic of dead money. GDX said, people said, oh, it popped to the 200-day, you got to buy it. I'm like, get out of here. But look at, I mean, we're back at range lows. It should bounce, but I just don't want to play with it. I just have no desire. There's better trades out there. And if you can't see that, again, the best time to buy it. Wham! Slam. Wham, bam, slam, jam, wham. Swinging like Tarzan. Come on, some Wu-Tang right there. You know what I mean? Like, let it pop. And when it pops, meaning like let the bubble, like, it's so hard to explain the sentiment of gold and silver because the gold and silver bugs project strength. Like it's been the best acting asset and it hasn't. And again, maybe over 5,000 years. No one was going to argue that. So you have to think again, like you got to wipe out the sentiment. I hate to see bottoms where everybody's like, this is great. I want to buy. No, I want to see the bottoms where nobody wants to buy. Here you go, GDXJ. Again, even if you haven't bought, keep saying again today. I think my brain's broken. I think that word's like racking on my brain. If you've been trading this stuff, you realize multiple times over that being early or trying to pick timing of the bottoms without panic, it's just never really the best trade. Just not the best trade. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't know what to tell you. AG, leave it alone. Watch for lower prices. AEM, leave it alone. Watch for lower prices. Again, like the 40s, like AG, maybe 5 or 6. AEM under 40. NFGC, love it. Leave it alone. Look at that. Breakdown. Somewhere in the 4s. PAAS, leave it alone. Leave it alone, leave it alone, leave it alone. Again, in a bear market, because it's a repeating day, clearly. You got to be very careful because miners aren't subject to like immunity. They have zero immunity in a bear market. That's why they're very misunderstood. Look at PAAS in 2008. It went running up the high and bam. Look at that. 44 down to 9. Is PAAS going to 9? I don't think so. But is it going back down to 14 or 15? I'm going to say yes. All right, material names. Now, these I actually think are a little oversold. If you go look, let me pop this up real quick. Let me see if I can do it. Appreciate your patience. Nucor, US Steel, everybody. These guys literally guided up last week. Now, you've got to be suicidal to guide up in a bear market because if you miss, you're done. Look at these numbers. Hit pause. Read this. This is a company that's guiding up. Letter X. Okay, steel. Steel. We are back at the range lows. A lot of dojis. A little bit of, what do you see? An anomaly here. Big volume, compressed candle. More dojis. Probably going to bounce. Let's bring Nucor back into the party because I'm trading it. If you didn't know, if you're not following on the Discord, you're not in the Discord room or following me on Twitter. Too bad. We put out an alert on this. Check out the monthly. I just love this. Absolutely love this action. Channel. Daily 50% fib, channel low, long wick. Here is the here was the day of the earnings. Like that, I think they're. Oh, I know. Hold on. What was it? 618. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Last week, sometime, it's probably this day actually. They guided up and came right back. Now again, in a bear market, it doesn't matter. But if the bear market is reversing, what should be bottoming here? Here's your first real anomaly, right? Look at all these light volume crap. You had this, which was a confirmation of lower. Because if you're coming off the high volume, probably going lower. High volume at the low probably means what? You're basing. Now, if you watch some of the intraday action, I talk about this regularly, like the ability to watch the level 2 and just kind of see what you're going to see. You could see at the lows here. This action, man, this chart is crap. You could see a lot of like little anomalies, doji, indecision, and then you got a squeeze, then you got a little pullback, and then it just, again, look at the volume here. Bigger candle, but smaller volumes in this. Like that's a red flag to you. Now, again, it's not telling you it's bottoming. It's just, man, anomalies. What had happened to close back at 106. Some of us got in a 103, 104 range. I am personally in from 107s to all the way to 103s. And I layer in, layering out. That's what we do. And if I like the price, I am not going to get shaken by a point or two at the lows because I know what happens. I don't mind having bigger, like slightly bigger stops if the trade is worth the reward. And if you don't get what that means, like we're not buying it at 160. What are we doing? We're buying it at 105, 104, 103. We're buying it at the lows, y'all. Like, you got to be super careful. You got to be super careful. So anyway, I hope people are... I just hope people have a understanding of what's going on. Sorry, I got a distracting text. This is a good area to start entering. Absolutely a great enter. Great spot. So just be safe, please. Always be safe. Always be safe. But should you not be greedy? That's all I'm asking. VALE, same thing. We talked about these names going lower. If the market's going to bounce, I'm seeing some anomalies here. Gap up, close at the low, bigger volume. It should be lower. Again, VALE is a little bit of a monster in the sense that it loves to like go slightly higher or slightly lower before it bounces. Here's an example, slightly lower. I still think it gets back to 11 or 12 at some point. Doesn't mean it couldn't go from 14, 13 up to 18. I don't know, 19, maybe. We'll see. Bear markets are known for aggressive rallies. That's what people don't understand. Like, bear markets are great trading opportunities, not great buy and hold opportunities. CCJ, I'm warming up to this bottoming down here because you got double doji. Again, you remember you had the good news and it flopped on it. We talked about left shoulder over here, right shoulder head. I'm just telling you now. I mean, you got a reference. If you want to buy it, sure. And now this is the thing, which it's going to be amazing to me. It's going to be absolutely amazing to me that when this thing pops and we say, it's probably time to take some profits, they're just going to hold and they're going to hold and they're going to hold, and it's going to come back down to 16 or 18 later because the market just absolutely gets kicked in the teeth. And it has nothing to do with CCJ being a bad company or not. It's just nothing will be safe. You just have to trade it. We talked about it buying down here. We talked about why you had to sell it up here. We talked about buying it down here. Telling me why you got to sell it up here. People don't listen. And again, people are like, oh, you're not always right. I know I'm not right. But if you follow me, you start realizing, all right, the guy knows a lot more than you, knows a lot more than Kramer, and meaning a lot more than, like, I know what's going on. I'm not trying to manipulate you. I'm not trying to put you in a bad position. I'm trying to be thoughtful of your gains. If you bought at 20 and you got to ride up to like 29 in a bear market, you take the freaking money. You take the money. These uranium folks are relentlessly, I don't even want to call them stupid because I think they're smart in that they're looking at the right trade long term. They just don't understand how to trade it. Arrow, again, a great copper company. What do we say? See you down on the downside. We like to see it somewhere between 7 and 4. It's a big range, but hey, coming from 15, I would take it. What's next? What is next? Mosaic. Ooh, this is all right. I think Drew Arbo is asking about this one. I like it down here. Now again, people are going to go, oh, look at that big red candle. It's engulfing. Hey, Lupus, it's engulfing. You got to get out. Okay. At the highs, you get these engulfing bars that turn right back around too. I have a feeling 44. Again, 43. I mean, just check the monthly again, because again, all trades start from the long term. Yeah, I mean, you're about to get back to the trend. Now, if you got into Mosaic today, because we said, hey, take a look at it. I mean, could it, does it have to get down to 44? No. I tell this all the time, like, oh, you got into new court 107, and you got all the 103s. Well, guess what? If it didn't get down to 103s, okay, I still had some, but I had the ability to lever up, because I always tell this to people, the things that touch once, I don't get a ton of leverage on, because I need to identify the bottoms. I need the bottoms to stick. If they don't stick, then I can't really leverage them. So if it's a one-touch bottom, boom, I don't get much. And if you trade long enough and you're hazing somebody for being like, oh, you didn't pick the exact bottom, you, my friend, are an idiot. Because imagine if everybody followed your trades. And again, now, like, it's just rude. Like, I imagine you're wrong just as much as anyone else. And people go, well, you can be wrong too. And I'm like, yeah. I can be, but I know like this is where I want to start. I didn't tell you, I've been saying for weeks to leave this alone. But now I say it's worth looking at, and you're going, well, now you're being contradictory. Face palm. Ah! People are so freaking crazy, man. CF. I said, don't touch it. Maybe it comes down to what? 70s, 60s, 50. I don't know. Let's go look at the monthly. I had some ideas. Yeah, sorry, in the 70s. Okay. Okay, I'm just saying, it seems obvious. Now you want to maybe start looking at it. Put it on your watch list. All right, let's get into tech, because I think this is where the gems are. People are like, you're buying tech? You have hated tech forever. You can't buy tech. You can't. Okay. Well, I can short tech only? No. Short. Now you're at support zone. I think if AMD holds 80, it's got 10, 15, 20 points in it. Apple, another one, talked about this, saying, hey, we filled this gap, old gap area. You got some support. I thought we could get down to 126, but again, this zone is got memory. Now, I'm not surprised it went a little lower. Now holding. Now what? I don't know. Maybe it pops 10, 15, 20 points. I mean, that's a great trade. A great trade. If you bought down, you started looking at the market going higher. 129, it's already up to 138. It looks like Apple bottomed. And people are saying the market's going lower. Where are you at? And again, if you're in the Discord room and you are a friend watching this stuff, type in the notes for people to see, because I think sometimes people don't see, like, this is the kind of stuff we talk about to confirm why you think the bottom. If Apple is bottomed here, would you call this a bear trap, a novice gap, pro gap, going higher? Again, how high? Let's not stop. Don't ask me those questions, because that's like, how high are you to know, to guess the answer? No, like, let's put the first zones. First zone 150. Next zone gonna be like the 160 area. And we'll see what happens. We will absolutely see what happens. Meta. Been buying it down here. Oh, you're an idiot, Dan. Oh, you bought it yesterday. Okay. Oh, you bought it on Tuesday at the lows. Okay. You know, between 155 and 158, I don't, again, close enough for government work. Boom, channel low. You want to play this game. And again, this is where it honestly really starts, is on the monthly. There's a 0.618 and you're at channel lows. Worst case scenario, next month has a green candle or this one has a long wick. Either way, there is 10 to 15 points in this, and I am going to take it. And I'm already writing checks to myself because I know it's going to happen. Or I lose a little, and then I'll write a check saying, next time, gadget. So obvious sometimes. But again, not really. I get it. I mean, keep in mind, this thing has been pulverized. Now, it doesn't mean it has to go higher. Now, because again, that's a fallacy. Higher highs, just something that's high doesn't mean it can't go higher, and something's low can't go lower. But look what you had here. You played this game of channel rock. Channeling, brah. All right, you're at the channel low again. So if history repeats, maybe that we're right here. Maybe we're right here and we go all the way to the top. Maybe we're right here and we only go back to the 100-day, 50-day. I don't know. But you see the risk reward? I mean, if you're buying this in the 150 to 155, the mid 150s, and you think you get to 190s, do you want 40 points? I like 40 points. Do you like 40 points? Let's keep that in mind. That's Roblox. Here you go. DMAX special. Again, I missed this. People are like, oh, you're not in it. Why are you not in it? Again, I didn't get it. I apologize. I missed it. I probably should have bought it at 24. Talked about it, making a higher low when it was chopping here. Look at it over the 50-day. What do we say? Can probably get up to like 50, maybe 42. Again, if you bought this at 24 and you're up into 34, high five, tip your waiter, let the guys know that you did the right thing. Because again, if you bought this, and this is what, like, I mean, tip the waiter, like someone's going, well, you better have bought it at 24. It's like, nah, you bought it at 25, you're good. Because now you're 34. Again, you tip the waiter. You can't get everything perfect. You just glad that you got part of the ride. I hope this makes sense when I say tip the waiter, because again, it's like if you're tipping the doorman and you're leaving, like, let them open the door for you. Don't wait till there's problems. Don't try to do it on your own sometimes. Like, you got to go. Tesla. I mean, people could talk about like, oh, I want to short this. And it's like, I don't know. I just don't really have much of a feel for it other than it's choppy and sloppy. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go while I sip on some coffee. EXPI. Does someone know that interest rates are going lower? Could this stock be ready to bounce? You got the volume, you got the tight action. Tight action, a lot of dojis, a lot of hammers. Could it go up 20, 30, 40, 50%? I think so, folks. Just keep that in mind. Just be safe. I mean, you got to be safe, okay? UTHR, here's another one, DMAX special. Called the bottom, volume price analysis, the market maker. Sometimes when it's this obvious, it's easy, but not always. Retest, blowout. You said you got to watch the old breakouts. Okay, now here you go. Making new highs. Oh my God. Not surprised, but also said take some profits if you get up here. Because again, if you took profits up here and you bought back, take some off as it keeps rising. Because the next leg probably will not be as strong. Even if it is, and you've owned this for a while, great trade. Let it ride, raise your stops, sell some covered calls, way out there. Do whatever you need to do. But in this market, 215 up to 240s. Bellissimo. So pretty. Very nice. That's a great trade. I wish I would have been on it. There's a lot of trades that I talk about that I don't take, as you can see. I mean, I just can't do everything. I can't do this all day, run a real estate business and run a Discord room and have time to do every single trade. Because unless you guys want to pay me to trade and only give you tells on the markets, I don't think I'm there yet. I'd like to be one day, maybe, if it's worth lucrative enough. Because again, maybe I can teach it versus actually be like just a financial advisor. Because I hate financial advising. Because again, it never ends with the questions. Those folks that are just devil's advocates to everything. Why would I buy here? Why would I buy it here? Why would I sell here? You can't ever, nothing ever really makes any sense to them other than the why. But the whys, when you answer them, don't make sense. It's just, they love whys. I don't know. I love dollar signs. Whatever. It's all good. Let's get into oil. You're welcome. Hello. What did we say? 50-day, back off. Could fill the gap. Nah. Back at the channel low. Now, I'm telling people take a little profit here because, why? 90s? 78. Again, I think we will go lower, but maybe it's not for a couple weeks. Maybe it's for a couple days. I don't know. Again, the more you're up, take some profits. Boom. Because I really think at some point, that little gap, set your alarms. Set the reminder. If that gap fills, come to get me. Come get me. XOP. What did we say? 123, 124 is our target. Oh my God, it went lower. You're such an idiot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being such an idiot. No, I warned you folks that XOP was done. I think a shoulder is coming. Does it have to get to the 200? This is what's crazy. Is you say you're waiting for the moving averages. I'm waiting for the 200-day. Oops. What if it doesn't get there? That's all. Again, if you have drip, hedge it. Now, can you play gush? Yes, but you better be legitimate at knowing how to have stops and take profits, because this thing is going to get wild. Wild thing. You make my heart sing. Yeah, it's going to get nuts. So, I mean, again, could we streamline right back down? I don't know. Here's your channel low. I mean, 113 is probably the lowest price you're going to get. 110 maybe. The risk is this the move that you at this point, is this where you want to start selling? I didn't say go out there and buy XOP. Keep that in mind. I said maybe hedge. I'm not buying it unless it gets to extremes. And again, I find other names like Nucor and some of these other steel names looking better. Just keep that in mind. Again, it probably bounces and everyone's gonna go, you're an idiot, because that's what everyone says, is you're an idiot. You're never thankful for keeping you out of trouble. These trolls, they just say you're an idiot. People who are in the Discord room, I love you guys, and I feel like you guys love me for trying to be thoughtful and honest. ExxonMobil, what did we say up here? The blowout. Now what? 100-day broke. This is a tough one. Because maybe let's redraw the trend real quick. Maybe it's this. Maybe? I don't know. Maybe? Perfection, not necessary. Goes from 105 down to 85. You do the math. 20 points. 20% on ExxonMobil. Probably could go lower. But wait for the chops. I mean, again, play the trend. For the market to rise, I want to see oil and these names drop. It's just at a certain point, I don't know how much downside are in these names versus upside in the other names. I guess I'm about to find out because, as Livermore says, you don't know until you bet it. Let's roll through the last few names. UNG, again, this is why we know oil is going lower. Natural gas is going lower. See how simple this is? Again, this is another Livermore technique where you look for sectors that are similar to the sector you're looking at. For example, if you're looking at wheat, then you look at soybeans. So you're looking at oil, you look at natural gas. If you're looking at gold, you look at silver. Like, how are the, corollary commodities acting, right? We'll see. Yeah, someone said buy XLF. That's hilarious to me. Maybe now. Again, patience. TXD said you're probably getting close. This range, maybe the 200-day. You're welcome for shorting up here. You're welcome for telling you to take profits. Again, if it goes lower, don't hate on me, but just expect a bounce. Again, nothing goes straight line. EQT, the XOP favorite that we were like, this is a joke. Going lower. FANG. Oh, man. It's interesting. I closed out my drip today completely because I just can't watch it. I don't want to trade Gush. I just don't have the emotional bandwidth right now. I kept on some oil stuff. And people are like, oh, but you said you're going to hedge it. I'm like, I know. I changed my mind. Just like you're going to change your mind. As long as it's beneficial to you and it has to do with making money. Again, I think these names are going to get beaten, but it doesn't necessarily mean they have to continue the beat down. Now, if drip gets back down to certain levels, I will be looking at it with the XOP. Again, if you have questions, please stop by the Discord room. Just be smart. Because again, I am just all over again today. Maybe I do it all the time and when I'm tired. I'm a repeating machine. This kind of move, it's due to bounce. Just remember that. Now, it could be just a little bounce. It could be a 120, man, a 40-point bounce. That's wild how this thing moves now. I remember this. Remember this thing when I was like a teenager, and then I remember it as a 20-year-old. Now it's evolved into a grandparent. That's wild and crazy. Yeah, be safe. All these names, again, if you're AMC, this is so dumb. I'm sorry to rant on this, but people are like, oh, someone's shorting it. Let's buy the stock. No, don't buy the stock. GameStop. No. These things are turds, man. Anyway, please be safe. If you have questions, stop by the Discord room. If you appreciate everything as it is, I appreciate you guys. Because again, like, I love when people come to the room with an actual question of, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can you help me? Not, I don't know what's going on. What do you tell me what to do? I don't like to do that. I'm a co-pilot. I don't fly your plane. Just like you don't fly my plane, I will never hit enter for you for your trades. You will not hit enter on my trades. You learn how to trade from others, just like I learned. You will be better. Talk to you later. Peace. Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.